So this is the Pushing North to Alaska episode. I ended the last episode. I had just left the Touratech rally and then decided I'd rather be in Seattle with Tracy for a while. And so I hung out there, and it was the most relaxing time I think I've ever had in my entire life. We just hung out and did nothing. After a few days, I started thinking about some trip planning, and on the last day before I was there, we all decided to go into town. That's Tracy, Jackie, and I. And went down to the Space Needle and saw the Chihuly Museum, which is a glass, Chihuly does glass blown. It was just phenomenal. The mind of that artist is just incredible. And then we went over and did the Ferris wheel in Seattle. It's one of those ginormous, make you sick in your stomach kind of deals, but that was pretty cool. I had a great time in Seattle. From Seattle, I decided to head back east towards Montana. I camped for the night in Spokane, and then the next day went through Glacier National Park. Glacier National Park is just totally amazing. You're actually riding along on these 2,000 foot, 3,000 foot cliffs that are right on the side of the road, and the road just sort of snakes through the park. You're greeted with these waterfalls and snow, and just one of those things you have to do, Glacier National Park. So as I was going east, after Glacier National Park, I stayed in a little town called Babb, Montana, which is just south of the Canadian-US border. It was the only choice I had. It was an expensive hotel. It didn't even have an internet or TV, but it's all I had. It was one of those long days where when you're done, you're just done. Holy Jesus. I think I'm beginning to lose touch with reality. You've got to see this place behind me. Holy, whew. Just miles and miles of this stuff. Can you believe this? So this way down south, this is a Route 40 in Alberta. It's a ranger road. The map shows it as dirt, but it's obviously not. It's paved. And it runs for about 60 miles up to Canmore. And this is it. This is what you get. It's just beautiful. Amazing. Coming north towards Canmore, I was actually headed towards a new friend of mine's house, Neville Stowe, fellow Jupiter's traveler. And it happened to be Canada Day weekend. So I hung out there all weekend with Neville and his wife Michelle and their daughter and many visitors. And we celebrated good, hard all weekend. It was a great time. On one of the days we went out and did an admin day, which was me picking up supplies in town, like bear spray, bear popper, and having lunch. Just walking around town. It was absolutely beautiful in Canmore. It's right in the Continental Divide, and there's mountains all around. It's just amazing. This guy's very lucky to live where he lives. And, Neville has hosted lots and lots of people, and he has a very nice garage that he works on his motorcycles, and he asked people to write on the garage, leave a note. So I did, and there was some pretty cool people that I know online that I haven't met. Some I've actually met online on that garage tour. It's pretty cool. So after leaving Neville's house, I was continuing north. Obviously, Banff is close by, so I was going to take the Icefields Parkway. And I started the day actually stopping off in Lake Louise and Moraine Lake, which, judging by the crowds, is a very, very popular place, but the scenery justified it all. Just simply amazing. Very beautiful. So once I was on the Icefields Parkway, it was just the continuation of the Rockies into Canada, and it's called the Icefields Parkway because there are literally ice fields and glaciers that sort of form between the mountains, and just spectacular. The weather going up about 2/3 of the way was fine, and then it just started raining and got near freezing in temperature. But still, just an amazing ride, the Icefields Parkway. When I left Neville's to take the Icefields Parkway, I had no plan. I was just going to go as far as I could go, try to get to Jasper, maybe a little north. And then a friend of mine that you may remember from Newfoundland contacted me. I haven't seen him since Nova Scotia, but Stefan had a place booked in Hinton, which is right near Jasper. And so I ended up staying with him for 2 days, and the one day in between that we had off, we rode down to Medicine Lake, and then Lake Meling, which is just south of that. Just more lakes buried in the mountains. They were just stunningly beautiful. And then we ended that day on the advice of someone we met in Jasper, who recommended we go down to the Edith Covell Mountain and Glacier, which is just inside of Jasper National Park, heading back south. And the ride up to that place was just full of twisties and curves, and the scenery again was just beautiful. We were up in the clouds, and it was raining, but just very, very beautiful. So the following day, when Stefan and I broke up, I took the Bighorn Highway north of Jasper to Dawson Creek. It's about 300 miles, and you can really tell how the land flattens out as you move away from the Rockies. It was really not much to see. Gas was no problem. There's a stop at about 100 miles and then another one at about 180 miles, but gas was no problem. So next I holed up in Dawson Creek for a couple of days just to get some rest, take a day off to work on the blog. I'll be leaving tomorrow, heading up the Alaska Highway to Fort Nelson, and then over to Liard Hot Springs, and then over to Watson Lake, and then over to Whitehorse, and that'll be the next week. I don't know where I'm going to head after that, but that's it for this episode. Again, thanks for following along. Again, I appreciate the comments and the feedback I get. So that's it for now. Later.